Welcome everybody. My name's Leah Selly and I'm here with my stencil product, GraffitiEyes. And today I've got a really cool show for you. We are going to paint this under the sea inspired by Florida jellyfishing bubble crown today, and it looks really cool, and it's actually really easy to do. It's pretty fast, it's pretty easy. I got some cool stencils to help move it along, and I made jellyfish stencils because when I was living in Florida, every time I got in the ocean, well, not every time I got in the ocean, but a whole bunch of times I got in the ocean, the jellyfishes came and tasted me. So I started calling them my brothers and sisters, and they're really cool, actually. Like, you get some gnarly bites from them, but otherwise they're like pretty cool little weird animals. So here's my ode to the jellyfish. Here's the stencils we're going to be using. I'm going to be using these little dingle dangle bits that are hanging down, like these little beaded parts here. Those are from my crowns. And then the centerpiece is the jellyfish from the jellyfishing set. And the little goldfish floating around are also, and the bubbles are from the jellyfishing set. So those are the couple of stencils that we're going to use. I've got 3 stencils that I'm going to be using to create this, and then couple of little freehand tricks. And it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and pretty fun. Now, maybe you guys are thinking, like, what kind of a kid asked for jellyfish? You know, why do we want to paint this design, Leah? Well, you know, I've said it before, I paint these out on little cards, and then I use the cards as menus. And then if you put it in front of the kid as an option, pretty much guaranteed somebody's going to pick it, you know? So if you want to paint some jellyfish and go jellyfishing and have it as a funny, kind of fun alternative, different than just offering a butterfly, you know, because I don't know about you guys, but after face painting for years and years and years and years, you kind of get tired of painting the same thing. Sometimes it's nice because you're like, do you want a butterfly? You want a heart? And you can like move the line. But I do like painting different weird stuff. So here we go. Let's do the jellyfishing crown. So here's my little working space. Above me, you can see the picture that we're going to be trying to, you know, copy as much as I can. So here's the 3 stencils I'm going to be using. This one's from the crowns, jellyfishing, and here we get going. So I'm going to start by painting the centerpiece, and then we'll build from around that. All right, sound good? So our jellyfish is orange. I got some really bright orange and a dark orange. And I'm going to load up a sponge here. Some really bright orange, like neon orange, like super bright UV kind of orange. And then just like a regular pumpkin-y kind of dark orange. Now you can put some orange glitter on your jellyfish if you like. I mixed it up. I'll show you guys at the end. I got all kinds of different little variations of different ways of kind of playing with this design. I'm also going to load up some white. So I got 2 different kinds of oranges there. My camera light's not doing this neon orange justice, but it's quite bright. And I got a little white ready. So that's what I got ready here. So let's start with our jellyfish. So I'm going to start with the super bright orange. And it is a big stencil, so work from the outside edges and drag towards the center. Right? Just being careful not to lift the edge. And get that real bright color in the middle dabbed on. Get that. Okay, and then from the outside, on the outside, you're going to do this, flip your sponge around and grab the outside with the dark, and then along this little frilly lip here, get dark in there. You can put a couple little dark spots on the little tentacles. Then I'm going to take the white, and I'm just going to tap a little bit of a highlight on there, so it kind of makes it look a little bit more opaque, see-through. And you can grab a couple of other little spots, like on the frilly bits here, so it gives it an instant highlight. And since I got all this white on here, I can grab a couple of these little bubbles surrounding the jellyfish. These bubbles are a nice atmosphere to your painting. Okay. Here we go. That's looking pretty cool. Check it out. We got shading and highlights and everything happening all in one stencil transfer. And we got like kind of atmosphere background with the bubbles too. So boom, it's pretty fast. Now, I bet you guys didn't notice, but there's actually a little face here. That's not more bubbles, that's actually a little face. So we're gonna put a little face on this guy. Let me just get some black going. And let's see here, I got a finger dauber. So a little piece of plastic with a sponge on the end. And we'll line up his face. I like putting it kind of low, close to the little ruffles of the jellyfish body. And then do a little test spot, and then get in there and rub. I like to do a little test spot because you really need to get in there and rub and get these little teeny tiny spaces filled in. So you really don't want it to be very wet. Aw, this is looking pretty cute. Very kawaii. So, yay, jellyfishing, starting to turn out. So we got that bit done. I'm just gonna set this guy aside because I'm gonna come back later and grab some, probably put a couple of these little fish, maybe some of these little starbursts. I like these little starbursts because they look like electricity action, do you know what I mean? So I'll set that guy aside, and I'm gonna move on to doing a little bit of freehand work here before I get more stencils going, all right? So I'm going to take a new finger dauber and I'm going to load white and blue on there. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm looking to invest in more stencils I sell, guys. The more you guys support my artwork, if you like these videos, buy my stencils, because I'm going to get another camera angle where I point my camera down at my paint so you can watch me load my brushes and sponges and stuff, so there's not that boring lag in between. Okay, here we go. So I just got a little tiny corner on there of blue and the rest is white, and I'm gonna push this down and twist it and make these little bubble circles. That's gonna frame it out, all right? So put one here, twist, twist, and kind of just put them on randomly. I didn't really have any sort of, you know, rhyme or reason when I did it, just kind of put them on, but I guess maybe making it so that the crown would wrap upwards, you know what I mean? Or this would look really cool as an armband tattoo, so if you had it on the armband, so it's wrapping around the arm, yeah? Okay, this is another good spot. You could put glitter on these bubbles if you like. I'm gonna actually add a little white swirl, a little bit of an extra swirl to these with my paintbrush, just because I give it a little bit more movement to my painting. So not really thinking too hard about it. Just need to make sure I got lots of paint on my brush here. It would look cool if we did another color, like if we put pink swirls on here, like a super bright pink. And then I might as well just take some blue because I did white and blue on my sponge load. This is all extra, so if you got time in the line, I'm just giving you guys lots of ideas of ways to make your design. You can take these, take it or leave it. So that looks nice, a little bit of extra movement in there. Jellyfish is looking cool. Okay, let's move on to more stenciling. So now I'm going to grab my crown stencil, and I'm gonna forget the snowflake because that doesn't really match with our theme, but I'm gonna grab these hearts, the stars, and these little danglers, okay? And just find a place to try and line them up in here. That looks good, like this. So we're gonna keep on going with this V shape so it makes like a nice V crown, or like I said, an armband. I'm going to get some like dark teal and more orange because I'm just going to keep this one simple for the demo. So grab a clean sponge just so I can keep this rolling. Some teal, blue, something like that, just so it kind of looks like water. And then on this one, I might as well, I think I'm going to put some little bit of blue glitter on the beads for this one. That's what I did for the demo. So just for entertainment purposes, because I am dealing on a piece of paper, I'm painting on a piece of paper. Let me just kind of tone this out with a little bit of white on the black so we can get even coverage. So I pinch my sponge really small to do this job, okay? Making sure that the paint's more creamy, not so wet. Makes sense? Put these little orange, so I'm going to put the bigger elements, the big hearts, the stars, make them orange like the jellyfish. And then I'm going to take the dark teal and put that on these little beads. And then I'm just going to dip my finger in my glitter here. This is a really pretty glitter. It kind of shines a little bit green. Got this stuff in Canada from a friend, so I don't even know what the brand is. I've had it for so long. It's pretty. Starting to look good. So this stencil, we just flip it over and there's an exact mirror image on this other side. Yay. Let's do a match. So I'm just rubbing the sponge back and forth in here, making sure I get all the little edges of my stencil, and grab some glitter. I got glitter everywhere. All right, how we looking? It's looking good. Okay, let's fill in some spaces, some empty spaces with some fish and some starbursts, because I think that'll look pretty. Make some room here and get some, I'm just gonna get some white. I'm gonna use that same finger dauber that had the blue and white on it, so it'll kind of match those bubbles a bit. So let me grab my fish stencil. I've got this one, and you can see me all looking around. What did I do with the other one? Oh, here it is. It slipped to the side. This one has a bigger fish on it. So this was the one with the plants, the underwater plants on there. So this bigger fish, I can kind of fit in one of these bigger spots. So that's an actual nice little spot right there. So we'll stick it there. And then if you guys notice, these stars are tilted and slanted. So they work really well around a bubble shape because they look like they're bending around a bubble. So, or like if you have a fishbowl, I was actually thinking of fishbowl when I did them, so that if you painted a fishbowl, you just have to like paint the bowl and then you could just totally rub out this whole section here and you got a fish in a bowl with little starbursts around there. So do a little test, get that little fishy, and what else? This little stream here, this little run of fish, I love this little run of fish because you can use it really in a lot of spots to kind of make stuff flow just like that. Flip this over and do the same thing. Put a couple little fish over here. Bubbles. And take some of these little electricity stars, put them around. And put some down here by his tentacles, because that's where he's going to get you the most, right? And I think in my demo, yeah, I have a little fish on top of his, forehead, kind of swimming over his forehead. And I thought it made kind of a nice highlight as well. But you can see how quickly we're filling in area by just kind of stenciling here and there, you know. So let's see, I think I'd like to put some stars over there. I think I'd rather put a star, maybe a big star. What star? This star right here. That little starburst. And that looks good like that to me. Now this is key to adding lots of extra action to your painting, is putting all kinds of little dots. So all these little beads that are hanging down, I'm just gonna load up my paintbrush with some white, and I'm gonna add little tiny dots in between all the beads. Really fast, doesn't take much time, and it really makes them look like they're dangling. So on skin you can do them in white or black. Here I'm obviously gonna do them in white. Right? And then hooking them in between so it looks like a beaded necklace, kind of. So everything's attaching to, all these little hearts are attaching to the stars. So it looks like a veil-y necklace hanging around. It's just a little touch, but it really goes a long way. And then down here. And then because it's underwater, I kind of blur them out a little bit on this little section here. I go tap, 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 tap. So it kind of like looks like the water's wiggling in between it. Do you know what I mean? And then same thing, you can tap little dots all the way into their hairline. Ding, 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 ding. But all these little dots make it look like a little necklace, right? Like everything's connected. And it gives it like a pretty busy look to it. And I mean, there's not much freehand painting that we actually did. So we'll outline the jellyfish. I think these little characters look great with a white outline. It makes them look more like a sticker, you know? So, and parents tend to say that. They'll be like, it looks like a sticker. So it's worth the time to do a little outline. Doesn't take much. And then the legs, I kind of just like freehand go a little crazy to make it look like extra legs, more than trying to go perfectly beside the legs. The legs, the tentacles, the little taster arms. I don't know, are they tentacles? I feel like that's the bits that are trying to taste you after all, you know? All right, so there we go. Depending how much time you have and how much you like fiddling around with the small brush, I like using little tiny brushes. I'm used to it. But a lot of times I'll give a little edge to the beads too. So I'll do like a bigger circle around them, or like a highlight, even if it's just along one side, as much as possible. Because I kind of feel like it adds like just that much more. And it really doesn't take that much time to do. And what else can we do on this design? I mean, it's pretty much it. It's done. Depending on how much time you have, I like to keep the kids in the chair if I'm slow. And if it works out, you know, the parents are talking on the phone, the kid's happy, you got zero lineup, you know, then I'll add extra details all the time. So what I could do with this one to make it look even more is give it more depth with, see these little spots where I'm gonna move this really close to the camera. See these little spots where the heart is on top of the bubble? You give it a little teeny tiny black outline on those parts, and just loose outline, like don't worry so much. My paint needs to be a little wetter here, hold on. And when I say a loose outline, I just mean like that, like don't worry. That's what loose means. It means don't even trip. Don't worry about it. Just put something on there so it'll look good. Right? That makes it stand out a lot on the parts that are more similar colored, even though blue and orange and white, but they're lighter colored, you know. Where else can we do it? Let me twist it over here. Still on the camera. Little star here. So it doesn't take that much time. Like I said, if you just want to keep the kid around a little, if you got the feeling like you're going to get a tip maybe. Anyways, there we go. Cool, right? It's like super kawaii, super gemmed up. I don't really see many stencils out there doing this kind of stuff, so I think it's unique. And like I said, kids would never ask for a jellyfish, but if you paint something like this and put it in your menu, especially with that cute little chibi kind of kawaii face, you know, kids will go for it. So let me show you a couple other ones that I did. Here's one. I put a bow on her hair because I actually blobbed out a fish right there, and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, turn it into a little bow. So I put some pink hearts around, and this one's got lots of bubbles and stuff like that in it. But I like the bow. I thought it turned out sweet. And who else do I have? This one, oh, this one's different again. So like the white one, what I did was, you know, versus this guy where I put a white outline and I put white just on the inside of it and kind of dark orange on the outside of it. This one I did the opposite, where I put white, like way more white around there, and made it look like his orange bit was encapsulated in a white kind of membrane. So that's another kind of look that you can do with it. And then this guy here, I actually outlined him with some puffy paint. Yeah, like this puffy paint stuff, liquid bling. And I don't know if it really you can see how it's like dimensional on there. So it looks cool. It's nice and bright and orange, you know. And then I had one more here. This one, I put all in this negative space. I just smeared on some of this party glitter. This is like Pixie Paint brand stuff where it is like a gel, a glitter gel kind of thing, and you just smear it on like that. Lots of different brands. There's one that's biodegradable, and it's a little bit drier, so it actually goes on really nice because it doesn't smear your paint. So those types of glitter are really nice, and they stick too. They don't fall off and can make a mess. So I just smeared that stuff all along the top there, and that would look so cool on a kid or an adult. So that's my little painting project for today. That went by really quickly, actually. So what I'll do is move along here. I just want to show you guys my website where you can buy them. So GraffitiEyes.com is my website, and if you go to this pink bar right here, click on there, and all three of my brand new kits are right there forefront. So you just click on it, and you can see way over on the side here, you can change between the pictures. There's, for size, you know, context, you can kind of see how big these crown stencils are. And if you move these little arrows down, you can see more pictures of stuff. And then more websites. I got lots of websites. My YouTube channel, check it out. I got loads of videos. Loads. So I archive all my videos here. So if you ever see something, want to watch it again, just go to my YouTube channel. It's The Tattooed Lady CA, which is for Canada. Instagram, @GraffitiEyes. I love my Instagram page. I put my own artwork on there, and then I also feature other artists who share the love and paint with my stencils, and #GraffitiEyes me. This one's super cute. So go on there and get inspired. And then if you're a Facebooker, this is my Facebook group. It's called GraffitiEyes, the Tattooed Ladies Face Painting and Makeup Crib. It's a long name, but it's very descriptive. And in there I've got a lot of similar content to my Instagram. So, but if you like to read and comment and chat, then Facebook's definitely the place to go and do that. But again, I got thousands and thousands of artists from around the world contributing to this page using the GraffitiEyes stencils, and I love this little place for inspiration. So I want to thank you guys all for that. So yay, here we go. There's our jellyfish crown. And I want to thank you guys so much for all of the continued support with the GraffitiEyes stencils, watching these videos. I want to see you guys use some of these jellyfishing stencils. And yeah, as always, the first couple orders after watching this video, I'm going to mail out one of these little art cards that I did painting for the demo here. And that'll be my little gift, bonus gift to the first couple orders that go out. So yay. Anyways, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks so much for supporting my small business and sharing the love on face paint. I truly am grateful and appreciate you guys. Right on. Have fun painting.